All right, I'm going to make a frame for my Tim Burton style portrait. I have my portrait, I have a frame idea paper, and I have a large piece of purple paper. So the first thing I'm gonna do is find the center of my paper, and it's about there. You can trace around it with a pencil so you know where your portrait is going to sit when you glue it down. But we're gonna do all the cutting and decorating of our portrait without our portrait in the frame, just so we can put it in when we're done, and it will be there and it won't get ruined. So these are some ideas for your frames. And you can see they're all very interesting. None of them are just boring square frames. And if we're thinking about Tim Burton and the kind of art that he does, he loves to make shapes that are unusual, that are not symmetrical or the same on both sides. So you can see a good example of that in this one. It's really crooked. So don't stress out about making your frame even, because that will kind of help it look more like a Tim Burton frame. And again, these are just ideas, and you don't have to do these exact ones. You can kind of jump off from there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my pencil. I'm going to kind of create the shape that I want. I'm kind of doing a curved edge for my frame. Okay, and I'm doing it with pencil just in case I don't like it. And if I do like it, and I'm happy with it, and I think I have enough frame to work with, I can use my scissors and I can cut it out. My frame's going to be smaller than my paper was to begin with, and that's okay. It doesn't need a huge frame, but a frame is going to make it all that more interesting. And we're using purple. It's a nice color that kind of goes along with our color scheme. It's a darker color. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to trace around my frame with my big marker, my big black permanent marker. You could do this with a Sharpie too. I like this guy because he's leaving a nice thick black line that's really going to show up. So I'm going over the edges, and hopefully this will show up around my frame or around my portrait when I glue it down. Now I'm gonna add some black designs to help decorate my frame. I'm not drawing pictures or words. I'm just kind of following along the same path as my shapes. If you wanted to, you could outline the outside edge, but you don't have to. Might be something that looks nice though. Okay, and then I'm ready to glue down my portrait. See how it looks first. Yep, that fits, that looks good. I already got glue on there. So I'm gonna take a glue stick. Hopefully yours isn't falling apart like mine is, but that's okay. I'll just stick that guy back in there. And move this out of my way. And when we use a glue stick, we really want to get the edges. Really get them down good. And with a glue stick, I always say more is better. So this isn't like white glue or just a dot, not a lot. We really want to coat it up good because glue sticks love to kind of come unstuck. So we really want to go overboard. If it looks like you went overboard and you did too much, that's good. That's a good thing. Gonna go in the middle too. Now I don't want to sit here gluing for 20 minutes because by the time I'm done, my glue will be dry. So I did that quickly, but I got a lot of it on there. Okay, get this guy back in there. Try to line up my portrait. And you can always move around your glue for a minute or so. And then really push it down well. We don't want pieces coming up. But that gives your portrait a nice frame and it just finishes it off.